Welcome to this explainer where we're going to completely demystify wealth building. Today, we're making a massive shift. We're moving away from that exhausting mindset of just working for a paycheck, and instead, we're going to figure out how to make your money actually work for you. We'll be pulling from some absolute foundational personal finance concepts to uncover the true science of making money. So here's our agenda for today's explainer. First, we'll look at the roots of wealth. Second, assets versus liabilities. Third, making better financial decisions. Fourth, building your financial IQ. And finally, overcoming the wealth trap. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the roots of wealth, mindset, and traps. We have to kick things off with a fundamental question. Think about this. Do you work for money, or does money work for you? Because honestly, as the sources point out, most of us are caught in a trap and we don't even realize it. We work incredibly hard just to earn a salary, pay the bills, maybe look forward to a short little vacation, and we cling to this illusion of job security, all while waiting for our retirement that just feels forever away. And you know what drives this? Two main emotions. The fear of losing our jobs, which forces us into the rat race, and the greed to buy more stuff, which keeps us running on that endless wheel. Now, this brilliantly captures the core paradigm shift you need to escape that trap. Look at the difference here. Saying, I cannot afford it is a limiting mindset. It literally shuts your brain down and accepts defeat. But if you just flip the script and ask, how can I afford it? Wow, that changes everything. That's a wealth-building mentality. It forces your mind to wake up, get engaged, and actually find creative solutions. It's the absolutely crucial difference between just reacting to your emotions and actively choosing your thoughts. To put this into perspective, let's look at the Federal Reserve's wealth game simulation. Okay, sure, luck, like what family or country you're born into, definitely dictates your starting point. But, and this is a big but, it does not write your final chapter. Your ultimate wealth is actually determined by 3 active variables: your natural abilities, your effort, and your motivation over time. Your drive to figure things out and negotiate better outcomes plays a massive role in moving you up the wealth ladder. It's not just about the hand you're dealt, it's how you play it. Moving on to section 2, assets versus liabilities, understanding cash flow. Listen, being financially literate isn't just about making a bunch of money. You have to understand exactly where your cash flows. So rule number 1 of the wealthy, they buy true assets. What's an asset? Simply put, it's something that puts money into your pocket, whether you're physically working or not. Think about Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's. Kroc famously told a group of students that he wasn't really in the hamburger business, he was in the real estate business. He literally used the burger franchises as a brilliant way to acquire income-generating real estate. That right there is a true asset. On the flip side, a liability is the exact opposite. It's something that takes money out of your pocket. While wealthy folks are busy accumulating assets, the poor typically only have expenses. And the middle class? Well, they often buy liabilities, completely mistaking them for assets. And that actually brings us to a super controversial truth that trips up so many hardworking people. Get ready for this one. Your home is actually a liability. I know. There is an undeniable emotional benefit to owning your own home, for sure. But if we look at it in a strict accounting sense, a house bought on a 20 or 30-year mortgage takes money out of your pocket every single month. Think mortgage payments, taxes, maintenance, the whole shebang. Relying on a house as your primary asset actually delays your real financial education. True financial independence means building revenue-generating assets first and then using the income from those assets to buy your house. Let's head into section 3, making better financial decisions through paced decision-making. So how do we actually stop accumulating all these liabilities and start making choices that build net worth? Well, it takes some highly structured thinking. The Federal Reserve gives us this really logical toolkit called the paced decision-making model. Because honestly, personal finance is mostly just about making choices, right? And every single choice involves an opportunity cost. The PACE model helps you systematically weigh those trade-offs. You define the problem, list out your alternatives, establish your criteria, evaluate those alternatives against that criteria, and then finally make your decision. Having a structured framework like this is exactly what keeps you from falling back into that emotional fear and greed trap. And we can contrast that structured, logical, paced framework with a moment we are all totally familiar with: emotional spending at the checkout counter. You know the feeling. Driven by impulse, or maybe wanting to keep up appearances, it can completely derail your financial goals in seconds. When you don't evaluate your choices logically, you end up trading away your long-term financial freedom for short-term vanity goods that instantly turn into, you guessed it, liabilities.
All right, moving to section 4, building your financial IQ, minding your business.
Now let's look at how this structured decision-making feeds into the broader knowledge base you need to actually grow your wealth. Your financial IQ is built entirely on these 4 pillars. First up is accounting. You've got to be able to read financial statements. Second is investing, which is literally the science of having money make money. Third is understanding markets, basically grasping supply and demand. And fourth is understanding the law. This last one is huge. It allows you to use the legal cover of a corporation to manage taxes effectively. Think about it. Employees earn, pay taxes, and then spend what's left. But corporations earn, spend what they need to grow, and only pay taxes on what remains. It's a massive difference.
The overarching theme here is that money itself is really just an idea. The real money is your mind. Take the story of Alexander Graham Bell. When he offered his brand new telephone patent to Western Union for $100,000, they basically laughed at him and rejected it. Now, it would have been so easy for his inner critic to take over and just accept defeat right there. But instead, his financially intelligent, brave hero mindset allowed him to bypass the rejection, invent money, and go on to build AT&T, a billion-dollar industry. Great opportunities emerge from a mind that's trained to see exactly what others are missing.
Let's head into our final section, Section 5, Overcoming the Wealth Trap and Psychological Hurdles.
So, why do even the most financially literate people still struggle to build wealth? Well, ask yourself, are you letting any of these 5 barriers dictate your future? Often, people let the fear of losing money completely paralyze them into playing it safe, which pretty much guarantees they never win. Then you've got cynicism and arrogance, which just blind us to amazing opportunities. Laziness usually masquerades as being just too busy to manage your wealth. And honestly, the worst culprits are bad habits, like prioritizing paying your landlord or your credit card bills before you ever pay yourself. You actually have to be a little bit selfish to prioritize your own financial literacy and investments first.
To clear these hurdles, you have to recognize one thing: education compounds over time. Falling in love with job security is a seriously flawed long-term strategy. Instead, you need to work to learn. Taking the time to master an additional skill, whether that's accounting, investing, or even just communication, is infinitely more valuable than chasing a tiny little bump in your salary. Your income will jump exponentially when you combine hard work with a constantly expanding financial IQ. And remember, investing is a marathon of time and discipline. It is absolutely not a get-rich-quick scheme. The miracle of compounding only works its magic if you actually give it time. So you've got to start now, because action always beats inaction. When the market dips, don't run for cover in a panic. Use that newly educated mind of yours to dive in and pick up solid assets while they're undervalued. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to take a hard look at your own daily habits and the financial choices you're making right this second. Ask yourself, what immediate comfort are you willing to trade today for true financial independence tomorrow? Because every single dollar you spend is a binding vote on your future. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep working for your money, or is today the day your money finally starts working for you?